Hey you guys, happy Wednesday. It is April the 9th. I only have 16 days to get my South Florida frocktail look done in about 20, I'm going to say 21 days to get my Atlanta frocktails look done. So tonight I'm in the lab to cut out the fabric for my buster or whatever you want to call it for the top portion of my look for South Florida frocktail. Now, I did a video. I'm gonna put it up here so you're able to see it. And in that video, I shared 5 different fabrics. Well, listen, it was no surprise that you guys were gonna pick fabric number 5. So that's the one that I'm going to be going with for this look. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead, stop talking, and go ahead and cut out the fabric and get to going. Let's go. Alright, so since I went ahead and did step number 1, which was stitch the upper, front, and back sections together, this is just some pink fabric from my stash that has some sparkles on it. So I'm using this as my lining. So I went ahead and did that. This is pattern piece number 1. I'm going to move it off to the side, grab pattern piece number 2, and basically with right sides together, you're going to sew up the side seam. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to open out both of them. So this is the right side, and take this one and put right on top. And what I'm going to do is pin both sides, making sure to match up the notches, and then I'm going to sew using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. All right, so let's go ahead and pin up the sides now. All right, so now that I have pattern piece number 2, which is the upper flounce pin using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, so both side seams. After you do that, you're gonna go ahead and create a basting stitch at 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, press to that line, press in the raw edge to that line, and then you're gonna go ahead and enclose it to make a narrow hem, all right? Once you do that, go ahead and stay stitch around the upper portion of the flounce. All right, so let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so I have pattern piece number 2, which is the upper flounce. I have it completely done. I sewed the right sides together. After sewing the right sides together, I pressed the seams open and finish off the seam allowance. After I did that, I pressed up 5/8-7" seam allowance, making a basting stitch, pressed to that line, and then created my narrow hem all the way at the bottom. And then after that, using a 1/2" seam allowance, I went ahead and stay stitched all the way around the top portion of it. So that's where we're at right now. I think we are now on step number 5. So grab pattern piece number 1, which is your upper front and back. And what you're going to do is you're going to take pattern piece number 1 and you're going to slide it in between pattern piece number 2. All right. Now what you're going to do is you're going to have wrong side of pattern piece number 2 to right side of pattern piece number 1. And then what you're going to do is you're going to match up the side seams just like so. Okay. So make sure you match up the side seams. Now I'm going to go ahead and serge this before. So I'm going to serge it now and then come back. So let me go ahead and serge that now. All right, so I have pattern piece number 2 here, pattern piece number 1. I'm going to slide pattern piece number 1 right side to wrong side of pattern piece number 2, just like you see here, okay? Now what I'm going to do is match up. I went ahead and serged my seams. Yes, I know it is not pink, and that's perfectly fine. And the reason why it's perfectly fine is simply because this is just a lining piece, okay? And we're not going to do all that switching out threads, not right now at least. So I'm going to match my seam allowance together, and I'm going to pin both seam allowance, and then I'm going to match up my notches along the upper part of my flounce. So go ahead and do that again. All right, so now I have the side seams pinned. Now I'm going to match up the notches that I have in. It could be the front or the back. I'll determine that later on when I put my casing on. So just go ahead and make sure you line up your notches all the way around and then pin the rest of it all the way around. So go ahead and do that now. All right, so now that I have it pinned all the way around, what I'm gonna do is using, I wanna say, I think they have you basted all the way around. So just go ahead and baste all the way around the upper portion of this skirt or this flounce. So go ahead and do that now. All right, so now that I have the upper portion of the skirt done, I have pattern piece number 1 attached to pattern piece number 2. Like you can see, pattern piece number 1, which is the pink right here, attached to pattern piece number 2. Now what you're gonna do, you're gonna do the exact same thing for pattern piece number 4 and pattern piece number 6, which happens to be your flounce and your front and back. Okay, that's going to be your middle section. You're going to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'll check in with you guys when I start attaching this part, which is the upper flounce, to the bottom portion of the flounce and skirt. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and stop here, and I'm just going to let you guys see me work. All right, let's go. so now that I have pattern piece number 6 sewn, I'm going to go ahead and grab pattern piece number 4. Just like I did with the last one, I'm going to go ahead, slide it in, and I'm going to pin around the same way. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to let y'all see me work. Let's go. All right, y'all, so I have the flounce and the front and back done. This is pattern piece number 6. Pattern piece number 6 is the pink. Pattern piece number 4 is this one right here. So now what I'm gonna do is attach the top to the middle section, all right? So what I have to do, I have to keep the top portion free, and then with right sides together, I'm gonna pin it, all right? So what they mean is keeping the upper, I am on step number 10. So this is the top portion. So they want you to keep the upper flounce, that's this one right here, free. And then what you're gonna do is take this one and you're going to do right sides together, and we're going to pin, making sure we match up the side seams, just like this. Side seams, and then match up the notches as well. So I'm going to pin the side seams together just like this. And then I'm going to make sure that for the rest of it, I'm going to go all the way around, making sure that not only the side seams is matched up, but make sure you match up your notches. All right. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right. So now that I have the upper flounce, the upper one, which is pattern piece number 1, I have it pinned to tier number 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the side seam using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance and a regular length stitch. I'm going to sew all the way around and then finish off the seam allowance. All right, so let's go ahead and do that now. So now that I have the top portion sewn onto the middle portion, I'm going to move this out of the way. It's looking really good right now. I'm going to move that out the way. I'm going to grab the last tier, which is tier number 3, which is the bottom tier. You should have 3. You should have cut 3 of fabric. And what we're going to do is we're going to do right sides together. It's weird how this is going to sound, but this is what you're going to need to do. So grab 2, okay? And what we're going to do is, this is the wrong side because I marked it. This is the right side. I'm going to take pattern piece number 7. All right, I got to check to make sure which one is the right side and which one is the wrong side. So this is the wrong side. So I'm going to take it and pin on one side. Pattern piece number 7. I'm just going to pin it on one side. So I'm just going to take that, match up the notches right here, and pin. All right. I'm just going to pin right here, pin there, pin the top, bottom, and along the seam allowance. So go ahead and pin there now. All right, so now that I have this pin, what I'm going to do is open it up, right? And take one of them, the other side, I'm going to pin that third tier onto this. Now, this is the wrong side because I marked the number 7 right here. So with right sides together, I'm going to pin this at the side seam the same as I did as the other one. So go ahead and pin all the way down. Go ahead and do that now. All right, so now that I have this pin, now you're going to open it up one last time, and you should have 2 sides that are not pinned. What you're going to do is take this side and pin it to the other side, making a skirt, okay? And then you're gonna go ahead and pin this side together. And then after you do that, you're gonna go to the sewing machine and sew all 3 side seams together so it will fit at the bottom portion of the skirt, okay? So I'm just gonna go ahead and pin at this notch and then pin all the way across. All right, go ahead and do that now. All right, so now that I have it pinned using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance and a regular length stitch, back stitch at the beginning and at the end, then finish off your seam allowance for all 3 that you pinned to the side. Once we do that, we're gonna do the same thing that we did for the other tiers. We're going to go ahead and do a narrow hem at the bottom and then stay stitch at the top. Let's go ahead and do that now. All right, you guys, so we are now at 10:25. I have stopped. I have went and ate dinner. I have done all those things. After doing that, going out to eat with the family, came back and I was able to finish up the skirt for South Florida Frocktail. Looks super good. I tried it on. It fits. Love it. I also started working on the bralette. Pattern Simplicity 8549. I'll put it up on the screen so you're able to see it. The only thing I need to do is put the straps on. I got pretty much everything done. The only thing I need to do is add on the front and back straps and then attach the lining piece. And that's it. Now, for that pattern, I do have a sew along for it. I'll drop the sew along for in the description box below so you're able to see it. So yeah, that's what we got. So I will be working on pattern testing tomorrow and I will check in with you guys later. That's it. And we're going to get into a complete pattern review soon.